I think so often we talk about retirement planning and it's in the context of a married couple. But what about if you're single? And how does planning for retirement, how is it different? How is it unique? How do you need to plan differently than a married couple? I've got those details coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. All right, a friend of mine, fan of the Wise Money Show, she actually might listen more than anyone else, and that's sort of an inside joke, but she said, listen, so often you hear people talk about the you need $1 million in order to retire. Well, wait a second. Is that for a married couple? I assume that's what they mean. So what if I'm single? What if I've been divorced or I'm a widow? Do I still need $1 million? How does that differ? And so I love that comment, that question, that suggestion for a video. And I would just tell you, I mean, if you're a fan of the Wise Money Show, keep those suggestions coming. Slim Dog, I appreciate you. Share some ideas. Hey, talk about this, consider this. Love it. Very, very helpful. So Debbie, thanks for that context. But I'm going to take a different direction. I want to latch on to you need $1 million to retire. No, you don't. No, you don't. If you're a fan of the Wise Money Show, you know that I hate that thinking. That one-size-fits-all approach is absolute nonsense, okay? So I'm just going to dispel that myth, but not go into it, okay? Because that idea that you need $1 million or whatever, that's one of the 5 factors that need to be considered when you're determining whether you can retire. It's the 5-factor retirement plan, okay? So these are 5 decisions, or you've got to consider 5 different areas of your financial life and look at how those areas work together to see if you're on track to retire. And the $1 million example, that's just one of those, okay? What are those 5 factors? And then if you're single, which of these 5 factors are more important than others when, comparing planning for your own retirement compared to a married couple? So, because that is the answer. Whether you're married, you're single, whether you're single because of divorce, whether you're single because of being a widow or what have you, it's still 5 factors. That is still the answer to determining if you can retire, when you can retire, how it's going to look. Those 5 factors, okay? Age. So that's age at which you're going to retire, but it also is life expectancy, okay? So how long will your retirement be? That's age, okay, number 1. Number 2 is spending. What's your lifestyle like now, and what do you expect it to be in retirement? And 97%, this is an old stat, 97% of people are unable to maintain their same lifestyle into retirement that they had when they were working, okay? So what's your spending look like in retirement? 3, what's your income? What's your income sources in retirement? So rental income, part-time income, pension income, Social Security, that sort of stuff, okay? That's 3rd. 4th is retirement savings, okay? That's your nest egg. That's that $1 million, but it's also how much you're saving, okay? So that's the 4th factor. And then the 5th factor is risk. How much risk are you willing to take with that savings? How much risk are you comfortable taking with your investment? So those are the 5 factors. These are choices that you get to make oftentimes. You might be forced in retiring early because of a health reason or something like that, but oftentimes these are decisions that you need to make, and they're interrelated, interconnected. You make a decision in one area, it's going to impact the other 4, excuse me. Think about it. I could do this for hours and hours on end. You just wouldn't listen to it. I'll just give you one example. All right. If you say, you know what, instead of retiring at 66, I'm going to retire at 62. Well, if that's the case, you might not be able to spend as much. You might need to find other sources of income. It might influence how you draw Social Security. You might need to have some part-time income, something like that. It's definitely going to influence how much you need to have saved up, retiring at 62 versus at 66. And you might need to take more investment risk so that your investments grow to a certain level because you want to retire sooner, okay? There's all sorts of examples. Those are your 5 factors. That's a 5-factor retirement plan. So when you're single as opposed to married, which of those 5 factors become even more important, or which ones are different because you're single? Well, I can see 3 of them, okay? The very first one is spending. When you're single, whether you're single because you've never been married, you're maybe a widow, maybe divorced, I don't know, but when it comes to spending, yeah, you're not having to buy 2 meals at Applebee's and, twice as much food at the grocery store. So you might say, well, spending is going to be less. Yeah, not so fast, right? You only have just you are the option for health insurance. That's it. So it might be more important from an entire retirement readiness standpoint that you have to work. You can't retire until 65 because you might not have the option for other health insurance, something like that. So health insurance can be a big factor. Also, what about your housing expense? Typically, property taxes are going to be the same whether 2 people are living in the house or 4 or 1, right? Your rent expense typically, now that could influence what size house, and that could influence property taxes, utilities, maintenance, whatever. But listen, I mean, the internet bill is going to be the same whether you're married or you're single. And so typically the expenses, the spending, when you're single, it's not cut in half of what it would be if you were married. It's usually about 2/3, okay? And so that becomes a more important part of these 5 factors. It's going to drive more of your 5-factor analysis, retirement analysis. That spending number, yeah, likely it's going to be less than if you were married. Depends who you're married to, I guess. I don't know. But there are some factors there that are going to be there. You're going to spend them whether you're married or not. The second of the 5 factors that is even more important when you're trying to plan for retirement being single is income, okay? So think about this. When it's Social Security, there are laws in place for Social Security for spousal benefits, survivor benefits, those sorts of things that if you're single, you might not have access to. If you've never been married, then the primary retirement income source that most people have is Social Security. And if you're single, it's only going to be based on your own earning history. And that could be a great thing, could not be a great thing, okay? If you are widowed, then Social Security has the option, has the ability for you to draw a survivor benefit. And there's actually still some loopholes connected to that. That's a future video that I'll be doing. But there might be some options for you, but if you're widowed, then the remaining life expectancy that your spouse would have had towards their working career, that sort of stuff, you might be missing out a little bit on that, but there are some options. And if you're divorced, depending if you were married for 10 years, and other rules come into play here as well, you could have a spousal benefit from a previous marriage, but possibly not. And oftentimes planning for that gets quite unusual. So income, retirement income, that's another area that you've just got to focus on even more when you're single as opposed to being married. And then the final area, in my opinion, of these 5 factors that's even more important when you're planning for retirement as a single individual versus a married couple is that retirement savings, that retirement nest egg, that 4th factor. Why? Because it's all on you. It's all on you. If you've never been married and you've been single your whole life, it's all on your ability to save. That's it. It's up to you. If you've been married and then divorced, typically your finances are turned upside down, and that nest egg, that retirement in those retirement investments might have been cut in half or been split or changed in some way, getting you through that divorce. Same thing with if you're single because you're a widow or widower. That financially you might have received some life insurance proceeds at that event, or you might have needed to dip into some retirement savings or nest egg to help you get through that challenging time. So this 4th factor is that last really big area of your 5-factor retirement plan, that when you're planning as a single individual versus a married couple, that retirement savings is even more important. So even though I would highlight those 3 out of the 5 as being more important or unique when you're planning for retirement as a single individual versus a married couple, still the answer is the 5-factor retirement plan. That's how you find out. If you're suddenly single because your spouse passed away, or you've gone through a rocky divorce or whatever, or you've just been single your entire life, you're going to want to sit down with your certified financial planner, do that 5-factor retirement plan, build out that analysis, stress test it, do some what if scenarios, see if this happens, could you retire sooner, could you spend more, do you have to work longer, when should you draw Social Security? All those answers are part of that 5-factor retirement plan and that comprehensive financial plan that your CFP offers. So hopefully you're getting that help. If you're not, work with the CFP and my team. You can find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with a K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.